Chapter 5. And they came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gadarenes. And when he stepped out of the boat, immediately a man from the tombs with an unclean spirit met him, who lived among the tombs. And no one was able to bind him with chains, for he had often been shackled and bound with chains. But he tore the chains, and the shackles he shattered, and no one had the strength to subdue him. And continually each day and night, in the mountains and in the tombs, he was crying out and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and bowed down before him. And he screamed with a loud voice, saying, "Why do you bother me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I demand you by God, do not torment me." For he had said to the unclean spirit, "Come out of the man, you unclean spirit." And he asked him, "What is your name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, for we are many." And he begged him earnestly not to send them out from the region. Now there was on the hillside a great herd of swine feeding, and all of the demons begged him, saying, "Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them." And Jesus immediately gave them permission, and the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine, and the herd rushed down the steep slope into the sea. Now there were about 2,000, and they drowned in the sea. But the keepers of the swine fled and told it to the city and to those in the countryside, and they came to see what was done. And they came to Jesus and saw the one possessed with demons sitting and clothed in his right mind, who had the legion, and they were afraid. And they that saw it described to them what happened to the one possessed with the demons, and also concerning the swine. And they began to plead with him that he would leave their territory. And when he got into the ship, the one who had the demons pleaded with him that he might be with him. But Jesus would not allow him, but said to him, "Go home into your own house and to your friends, and show them what great things the Lord has done for you, and how he had compassion on you." And he departed and began to publish in the 10 cities what great things Jesus had done for him, and everyone marveled. And when Jesus had crossed over again by boat unto the other side, many people gathered to him, and he was near the sea. And there came one of the rulers of the synagogue, whose name was Jairus. And when he saw him, he fell down at his feet and pleaded intensely with him, saying, "My little girl has come to the end. Come lay your hands on her, so that she may be saved and live." And he went with him. And many people followed him and pressed against him. And there was a certain woman who was diseased with an issue of blood for 12 years, and had suffered many things from many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and yet felt no better at all, but grew worse. Having heard of Jesus, she came into the crowd behind him and touched his garment. For she said, "If I can only touch his garment, I shall be whole." And immediately her fountain of blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of the plague. And Jesus immediately felt within himself the power that went out of him. And he turned around in the crowd and said, "Who touched my garment?" And his disciples said to him, "The people press against you, and yet you ask, 'Who touched me?'" And he looked around to see the one who had done this thing. The woman feared and trembled, for she knew what was done within her. And she came and fell down before him and told him the truth of everything. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you whole. Go in peace and be whole of your plague." While he was still speaking, there came from the ruler of the synagogue, saying, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?" But Jesus, immediately hearing the word that was spoken, said to the ruler of the synagogue, "Do not fear, only believe." And no one was released to follow him except Peter and James and John, the brother of James. And when he came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue and saw an uproar, weeping and much wailing, and entering he said to them, "Why do you make the uproar and weep? The child is not dead, but sleeps." And they laughed at him. Then he drove them all out and took the father and the mother of the child and them that were with him, and entered in where the child laid. And he took the child by the hand and said to her, "Talitha cumi," which is by interpretation, Girl, I say to you, arise. And immediately the child arose to her feet, for she was 12 years of age. And they were greatly amazed with great amazement. And he immediately charged them that no man should know of it, and he commanded them to give her something to eat.